You're watching Wanted with me, Jonathan. News 9 reported on a sensational murder case of a high-profile individual on Wednesday. Dr. Ayappa Dore was murdered on Tuesday night when he went for a stroll. His murder had sent a chill down Bengaluru's elite. The cops have gotten closer to cracking the case now. Yes, they have found the murderer and the plot behind it. Take a look. October 16th, 2019. The residents of RT Nagar in Bengaluru were shocked to hear about a murder in their neighborhood. Look at the people standing outside the ground and watching something. There is also a dog squad in the ground trying to look for clues. In a matter of minutes, they run across the street from the ground and come to a halt near a compound of the house. And here the dogs and the cops find something. The dogs led the cops to what was found to be the murder weapon, a machete. One look at the body and the weapon that was found. It did not take the cops long to realize what had happened. A chilling murder. Dr. Ayappa Dore. This is HMT ground located in Bengaluru's RT Nagar. As we told you earlier, this was the location of the crime scene where a man was found murdered. Preliminary investigations revealed the victim was Dr. Ayappa Dore. It was no ordinary murder. Who is Dr. Ayappa Dore? The deceased Dr. Ayappa Dore was a former vice-chancellor of a private university, one-time politician and a full-time realtor whose net worth ran into several crores. The man also had several big politicians, real estate magnates, and businessmen in his network of friends. And it's his list that will hold importance as the story progresses. But first, let's look into what transpired on Tuesday night. He went out for a walk on Tuesday night. He never returned home after that. For many years after his exit from the university and politics, Dr. Aiyappa was spending more time at home. So over the years, he had developed a routine that involved him going out for a walk in the morning and evening. Following his usual routine on Tuesday, around 11 p.m. after his dinner, Dr. Aiyappa went out for a walk in the HMT grounds that was located opposite his house. As was the routine, he locked the doors from outside, kept the key near the window, closed the gate behind him, and went out for a walk. Police suspect that the killers who had studied his routine were waiting for him in the ground or near the house and struck once they had a chance. From the preliminary investigations and the evidences collected by the forensic team, it was clear that Dr. Aiyappa had been attacked. In fact, Aiyappa had even tried to resist the attack and suffered some injuries to his palms. Well, it was common for him to go on a stroll after dinner. No one knew about his actual routine except his wife and family. So investigators suspected that whoever must have killed him must have followed him for a few days and planned to kill him. Details of his murder only became clear once his wife told the cops. Here are the details of what transpired that night based on what his wife told the cops. As Dr. Aiyappa followed the routine of going for a walk every day, his wife went ahead and slept as usual, thinking her husband would return. But when she woke up in the morning around 5:30, she didn't find him. When she looked out of the window, the house key was still there, and so was the car. She didn't know what to do. She followed her instincts and came out of her house and straight away entered the ground. And what she saw here shocked her. Her husband was lying in a pool of blood, suspected to be murdered. His wife thought his body must have been on the ground the whole night, as she had no clue when the attack took place. Ayappa's wife Bhavna found a hoysala that was on beats and informed them about the incident. Soon the cops called their seniors and reported the incident. The RT Nagar cops were the first to get the information. In no time, top cops including DCP North Shashi Kumar, Bengaluru's Commissioner of Police Bhaskar Rao, Additional Commissioner West Umesh Kumar, CCB Head Sandeep Patil, all came to the spot to get first-hand information. The family was in a shock after the incident, gave all the necessary information in a complaint. The cops were trying to find out what deals, projects and activities Dr. Aiyappa was involved in. They also wanted to know if he had any conflicts or enemies.
ಇದೊಂದು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟ ಕೊಲೆ ಪ್ರಕರಣ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಂಜುರೀಸು ನೋಡಿದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರಕಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಿಂದ ಹಲ್ಲೆ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದೊಂದು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾದ ಕೊಲೆ ಪ್ರಕರಣ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವಿನ್ನು ಪತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಪಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅವರ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದು ಅವರು ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಒಂದು 4-5 ತಂಡಗಳನ್ನು ರಚಿಸಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೃತ್ಯದ ಹಿಂದೆ ಆರೋಪಿಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಪತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
The killers were suspected to be roaming near Dr. Ayappa's house, and this was found when the dog squad discovered the machete which was lying near the house. The residents of RT Nagar were shocked because Dr. Aiyappa had been staying in this locality for the past 30 years. There was never an instant of violence or trouble associated with him, the residents pointed out. Dr. Aiyappa hailed from Vijaypura. His story of rags to riches is something that makes for case studies in business schools. After he had left Vijaypura, he made Bengaluru his home for 30 years. He even earned a doctorate during his time in Bengaluru. The rise of Dr. Aiyappa. Dr. Aiyappa was considered as a jack of all trades. After obtaining his PhD, he helped turn a private college into a prestigious private university. He also became a syndicate member of Bengaluru University. He floated his own political party and even contested in the elections after he failed to get a BJP ticket and the post of an MLC. He was vocal about separate religion tag for Lingayat community, and he was also successful in real estate business. But in his long and arduous journey through life, he is said to have made a lot of enemies. Controversies followed him. Today, many believe one of his enemies may have been the reason for his death. The case has been cracked now. We know which one of his controversies got him killed, and the story behind the conspiracy is a saga in itself. Dr. Ayappa Dore built an empire from scratch. His political influence grew and settled eventually for a quiet, retired life. But one thing that he definitely did not want was for his past to come back to haunt him. One of his enemies from his past had him murdered. And police investigations have revealed that it was one of his closest associates. Who could it be, and why would a close associate want him dead? Take a look. Ayappa Dore had retired to a quiet life until one fateful night brought everything to an abrupt end. He is suspected to have been murdered on Tuesday night. His body was found on Wednesday morning after his wife saw that he had not returned home from his walk and went to the ground in front of their house to see where he was. She was shocked to see his body lying in a pool of blood. She alerted the cops at once, and soon a whole team of cops, including the Commissioner of Police, were at the crime scene. Ayappa Dore was the former Vice-Chancellor of Alliance University. He had got into politics and real estate after his exceptional growth. The cops had to check if any of these cases had led to enmity, which may be the reason for his death. Dr. Ayappa Dore, who hailed from Vijaypura, came to Bengaluru for the purpose of his education. 30 years after he shifted from his hometown, Dr. Aiyappa had donned many roles. His ventures eventually paid off and he accumulated considerable wealth. Things changed for him when he came in contact with Sudhir Angur. But before we tell you about that, let us tell you some more controversies which were investigated after his death. Controversy 1: Tryst with politics and the Lingayat row. Dr. Aiyappa was the secretary of Bengaluru University Students' Union. During this time, he became close to many political leaders and well-known faces of the Lingayat community. With this in the background, he became a syndicate member in the university. In 2006, when the coalition government was formed in the state, he kept telling people that he was the one who brokered the alliance between the two parties. He also claimed that BJP would make him an MLC for his contribution in helping form a coalition government. He was seen as a close aide of BJP's Unisversuty at the time, but the MLC post was never given to him. All of a sudden, 2014, Dr. Aiyappa filed a PCR case claiming that there were many illegalities committed by B.S. Yediyurappa in relation to Shivaram Karanth layout. The case went on for a while and then it was quashed in the court. He had even complained against Siddharamaiah to the governor, stating that there were many illegalities that took place in relation to the Arakavati layout. After all this, Dr. Aiyappa turned politician. He floated his own party and named it Jana Samanyara Party. He even contested in the assembly election from Mudde Bihala, but lost. He was suspected that his tryst in politics may have got him murdered, but after the cops failed to find any actionable leads in the case, the political vendetta angle was debunked. After losing the election, Ayappa Dore turned to real estate. Could this have gotten him killed? Controversy 2: Real estate deals that turn sour. Dr. Aiyappa had bought a 2-acre plot next to Alliance University, but he had a tiff with his own family members regarding its ownership. Apart from this, he had even procured the sale deed of a 1-acre plot located in Raja Rajeshwari Nagar. Dr. Aiyappa had procured the sale deed after paying an advance of 90 lakh rupees. But after getting the advance, the owner of the land changed his mind as his family didn't want to sell the plot. It is reported that the owner wanted to return the advance and keep his land, but Dr. Aiyappa wasn't interested. He forced the owner to hand him over the land and keep the sale deed. This case had even gone to the court. Investigations revealed that Dr. Aiyappa was even involved in financial and real estate business with a few people from Andhra Pradesh, where he had invested his money. But of course, even here, he had created enemies. Aiyappa was in fact involved in several land deals, and many a times his interests clashed with land sharks. Aiyappa had grown quite large as a shark himself, but there were certainly much bigger fish in the sea. The cops investigated to see if one of these incidents may have got him killed. But it was ruled out after the cops cracked the case by solving another angle. Association with Alliance University. Alliance University is a private university that has been a point of controversy for quite some time now. But before a university, Alliance was just a college in Bannerghatta Road. That's when Dr. Aiyappa got in touch with its owners. Take a look at this family tree. These two brothers are Sudhir and Madhukar Angur. Sudhir and Madhukar Angur were at war with each other regarding the ownership of Alliance University. Madhukar was in America and Dr. Aiyappa advised him to invest money in the college. So, Madhukar invested in the college and Sudhir took care of the management. Sudhir had studied in IIT Bombay and IIM Ahmedabad. After his studies, Sudhir Angur started the Alliance Business Management Academy in Bengaluru in 1997. At one point, it claimed to be voted as the second best business school in India. Later, he started Alliance Business School Private Limited. In 2010, the B School was transformed into Alliance Private University, and Sudhir decided to make Dr. Ayappa Dore the Vice Chancellor of this prestigious university. Soon, the institute under Sudhir's leadership bought 40-acre land worth crores of rupees, and then the college turned into a university. While Sudhir took care of the management of the university, Dr. Ayappa became the Vice Chancellor and took care of the finances and related issues. After his term ended, Dr. Ayappa made his wife the Vice Chancellor. But when he got to know that he was losing hold over the university, he contacted Madhukar and made him return to India. He informed Madhukar about Sudhir's mismanagement and other alleged illegal activities taking place in the university. He is said to have made Madhukar believe that Sudhir was looting away a major portion of the profit. Until now, Dr. Aiyappa, who was with Sudhir, jumped to Madhukar's team, and Sudhir was definitely angry over Dr. Ayappa's betrayal. The duo fought over the issue, and soon the issue took a legal course and the case is currently in court. It is alleged that Dr. Aiyappa was promised 50% shares by Madhukar if he was to win the case in the court. As it turns out, this was the reason behind the murder of Dr. Aiyappa. Sudhir had reportedly gotten to know about Ayappa's intentions of supporting Madhukar in the ownership rights of the university. Sudhir had kept Ayappa close and helped him become a vice chancellor and had helped him turn his life around. But Ayappa, it is said, had gotten greedy. He did not want to let go of the control he had on the university. So he had called Madhukar and told him there were irregularities in the profits collected and that his brother was getting a bigger chunk. Sudhir knew Ayappa had enough evidence that could have turned the case in favor of his brother. This wouldn't have just led to the loss of a controlling stake in the university, but could have turned into a criminal case with the possibility of a jail term for Sudhir. So Sudhir wanted to get rid of Ayappa, the sole link that could cost him the case. Sudhir reportedly approached a man named Suraj Singh who worked as an executive in the university. He trusted Suraj to kill Ayappa and even gave him a contract of 1 crore rupees. Suraj deployed a gang of men to carry out the attacks. The gang followed Ayappa for more than a week and plotted the murder accordingly. They found that Ayappa had the habit of taking a midnight stroll. They thought this would be the perfect time to kill him, and they did exactly that. They attacked Aiyappa more than 17 times, and finally, Aiyappa collapsed after losing a lot of blood. Suraj and his gang escaped from the spot, but what the gang did not know was that the cops had got wind of the situation the next morning. They had already started tracing everyone of the suspects. One of them was Sudhir. When they noticed a gang of men entering Sudhir's house, they followed them. The cops found the CCTV footage from the crime scene and noticed that Suraj's personality matched the ones from the footage. The cops had enough reason to suspect him and went in to question him at his home. It wasn't long before the cops got a confession from him. At first, Suraj tried to protect Sudhir, but the cops knew exactly what they were looking for and managed to get a confession from him.
Because there is already a dispute within the Alliance University, it facilitated our investigation. Within a short time, after sustained interrogation, we were able to zero in on Sudhir Angur, who led us to Suraj Singh. Upon interrogation of Suraj Singh, who broke down and confessed about the murder, he mentioned to us that it was he, at the behest of Sudhir Angur, carried out the assassination along with 4 others. 5 people were totally involved. They studied the behavior pattern of this deceased, and together with the help of, together under the direction of Sudhir Angur, this assassination was carried out.
The cops then brought Sudhir in for questioning and got a confession from him too. Based on the statements the police received from each of the accused, the cops have arrested both Sudhir and Suraj. The cops are still investigating the case to get more details. The cops are trying to uncover the entire sequence of events from the motive to hatching the plan to executing it. More arrests are likely in the case as investigations progress. A News 9 report